I have issues with this every time. Somebody else is going to be in charge of this the next time. Everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of last week's podcast. But it's all recording in the same night.
Yeah.
Most people would call it part 2, but
part 2 episode. Well, I guess I don't even know how many episodes we have.
Like 30 something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Welcome to episode 30 something with Annalicia, Julie, and Barb.
Hello.
That would be me. We have gone down the path of super silliness, so if we start laughing for no apparent reason whatsoever, bear with us. We promise to eventually bring you some useful information.
If the oxygen mask drops in front of your face, put it on yourself first, not the person next to you.
Exactly. Oh, goodness. So where we kind of left off was...
We were finishing
Vegas.
up talking about Vegas, but we wanted to talk more about Foley.
Yeah, and I think there was did I leave? I feel like I left a straggler question out there about Vegas.
Can't
remember what it was.
I went and approached Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the lady that was there was just like, we have a podcast. We talk about ladies in archery and
pink javelinas.
And pink javelinas. And I said, one of our listeners, Stan, I believe, was the person that first...
The Diva Javelina.
Brought up the Diva Javelina. And I approached her and I'm like, we have this, we talk about this javelina all the time. Could you do something like this? And she's like, oh, we so could. All we got to do is have the mold. And we already have hot pink. And we'll inject the mold with the hot pink. And I'm like... What? Oh my gosh, why have we not done this before? And she said she'd give us a dealer's price since we're a podcast. And I think that she said that it could be injected with the hot pink or pink color. And then she could airbrush it with like a periwinkle blue because they didn't have a purple, which I thought would be really cool.
Be fine.
And I thought, well, she was like, a javelina and you guys are from the Midwest. I said, well, it just rhymed with diva. I mean, it's not
Diva javelina.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't because and we don't have javelinas in the Midwest, but I thought that was a good idea, and I thought maybe we could take it to some shoots, maybe have like breast cancer awareness pot, extra $1 maybe to shoot it and send that money off and donate it on
so
behalf
maybe
of
we'll
us.
work on that, starting this summer, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she said with the shoots coming up, it would be harder the further away from Vegas that we got, the longer it would take to get it back if we did want to order it. But I got all her information. I wrote down the price, which is a lot better than the normal price. So that was a good discount deal. And I thought, I just hope she doesn't take off with our idea before we get to it. Because I can just see it at a few shoots that it would be like one of the favorite targets. Javelinas are a hard one to hit. I mean, they like to stick them out there far. If you've seen a hot pink one, wouldn't it be much easier?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would make it easier or not. Trying to visualize it.
I don't know. I've never shot a pink target. I don't know.
Isn't there like a baboon that's pink or pink panther?
Yeah, there's a pink panther, but
I've never shot that one.
No.
I can't really remember.
Have you guys ever been to the Reinhardt 100? Do they have anything pink?
I've never been.
I've never shot. Well, they're the ones that make the pink panther.
Right.
Yeah. I know I've shot one, but not often enough to really remember.
No.
Yeah. So.
Well,
I've never
been
been
anyway.
100.
I think our javelina would be very memorable anywhere it was stuck. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
Could be a traveling javelina.
It could be.
Could be a traveling diva javelina.
There you go.
It could be the traveling javelina. And I also talked to another guy. He was there, and I had never seen his products before. It was Encore targets. They were like a flat...
More like a styrofoam type thing?
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of like a doormat, a little lighter weight than that.
But how thick were they? Yeah,
about the thickness of a doormat. But anyway, he cuts them out in all these fun shapes and sizes.
Oh, wow.
And they're... The the rings on them are just like an ASA, so you can practice at a discounted price. Is basically his theory
Well,
behind
here,
it.
talk about some of the
Prices.
Well, there's like an apple,
Encore,
and I saw a
it's-
jack-o'-lantern.
It's
Yeah.
ONCORE.
Encore, yeah. And then there's antelope, the A3 antelope. I'm not sure if that means anything. I'm not an ASA person, but there's the bobcat. But the rings on there are the same size as a regular 3D target. So this is just a more reasonable price. Okay, so the antelope is $34.99.
So, but it's flat.
It's flat, so you
it's
could put
just
it on a bale.
2-dimensional.
Yeah, or you could put it out on a range like you would have your field range.
Right.
You could stick it up there. There's a bunch of there's a raptor. There's a frog.
What's
There's the T-Rex.
longevity on it? Does he say, or did he tell you?
When we were talking, he was talking like they held up really well. I didn't see any arrows in them, so I couldn't really. But
They're pretty inexpensive. I mean, less than $50. Most of them. Most of them.
like the javelina is $24.99.
The raccoon's $19.99.
Let me see the javelina one.
He said he could make us the javelina in pink and put a tiara on it and cut it out that way.
That would be cool too.
This is another option.
Yeah.
For us, and we did get a dealer's sheet on that as well.
Sweet.
So.
So this would be a way, even if somebody wanted to practice shooting at the targets, if you got the ones, like say for example, if you were going to go to a lot of ASA tournaments, you could pick up some of these
and
that have
so
the
reasonable.
That have the ASA rings. The only thing that it probably wouldn't benefit you is if you're a yardage judger, because I don't know that you really could use them. But as far as the placement of where the rings are, because I had a little forgetfulness on that, honestly.
Yeah.
And Foley,
But but this is a good alternative. I mean, if you have a class or you're teaching kids, we've thought about buying a couple of these just to have, because a lot of our kids don't go to 3Ds. Oh, they had some zombies in the back.
Sure, if you were
Those would be
running
fun.
like any sort of like a youth archery club or something like that.
Yeah, just so they get familiar with the way it's scored.
Right.
Where the scoring rings
That's
are.
really
Well,
cool. That's a neat idea.
And and for kids too, they
Yeah.
like shooting at different things.
So I thought we could maybe hit up this guy too. Maybe have both. We are the founder, or we're do we call it founders of the Diva Javelina? So we better
The
get as
inventor.
Many,
we better
many different
we're gonna
patents.
patent that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I know. That's why when I talked to the Reinhardt gal, I'm like, oh.
You got worried that
Yeah,
she gonna
she's
steal
gonna
our-
get rid of the pink piggy.
well, most likely most guys won't have any interest in.
Yeah. Well, you never
in
know.
shooting it.
I've seen quite a
So.
few pink bows running around there, and they weren't with girls. So there's some pink bows that guys are shooting. I think
I've seen
it's
some
kind of
too.
a manly thing to do now. I think it's cool for a
Yes.
dude to.
Well, see, and Jesse Broadwater wears a pink shoe and a blue shoe. Is that right?
Shoelaces.
Shoelaces.
Uh-huh.
But doesn't he have pink and blue on his arrows too? Aren't his fletchings or?
I think it's
his
his
veins
strings.
or fletchings.
Is it
are
strings?
I think his
Yeah.
strings are designed by his kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I saw that also.
Yeah, his
he's-
feathers or veins are pink.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyway.
Well, you mentioned Foley, Barb, and
I
you
did.
had some forgetfulness on where rings were. So,
Well,
why don't you tell us about that?
Jim and I went to Foley, Alabama, the first ASA tournament of the year. So that was super fun. Long drive, 14 hours. We drove. Yeah, I know.
Staring at each other.
No.
Well, hopefully staring at the road.
Yeah.
No,
That would be better.
I was smart and brought the neck pillow, so we kind of switched back and forth.
Oh,
You
your
know.
husband let you sleep? My husband will not let me sleep on a trip.
He won't. Oh no, I wouldn't put up with that stuff. So anyway, but
Hey, look, it's Katie, the podcast daughter.
yes, it
Oh,
is.
cute.
Oh, you got
Cute
tennis
shoes.
shoes. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, go away. I tell
The
you,
defiant
I don't.
podcast daughter.
The defiant, yeah.
I told her not to buy the skateboard yesterday. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I need a skateboard.
Oh, you're going to break your neck. Is that what she told you?
No, I just told her she didn't need to be spending money on that. So, and then I was like, "Don't buy them right now."
Those kind of shoes will help her on that skateboard.
The you're getting us off track of our podcast. I'm pretty sure listeners don't want to hear about your skateboard and your new tennis shoes, but they are cute. Anyway,
okay, back to Foley.
Back to Foley. So we have to go a day early because Jim shoots senior pro class. So, and I invited him to come down, but I don't know if he'll get his butt out of the chair and come down and tell us about how he did. Because he shoots pros, all shoot Friday and Saturday, because then Saturday night they have the shoot off. So, but yeah, I've had target panic for the past year, so this is the first big tournament I've been to in, oh my gosh,
a long time.
Well, I haven't been to an ASA since 2015.
Yeah, to shoot. Yeah.
You've been
it's
there.
Been a while.
You've hung around.
Yeah, but she hasn't shot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. So it's been quite a while. So my shooting was going fine at the bags. It was even fine on the team shoot. And I had not total, but I had tournament panic basically. You know. So it did get better Sunday. It did get quite a bit better. But I also had, and I forget about this till I go down there and I start, when you're looking at a target and concentrating on where to shoot, especially like Sunday morning when we went out to shoot, the sun was coming directly in our face, so everything was silhouetted. All the targets pretty much looked black.
Was it foggy? I saw some pictures.
Super foggy.
Yeah.
And okay, so I got to give props to one of our divas, Chris Berry, let me borrow his rangefinder, which didn't work a whole lot better than mine. Mine was reading 4 yards all morning long.
40?
4.
Oh, 4. No
4
matter
yards.
what. Okay.
No matter what. The fog, everybody's rangefinder was not working Sunday morning.
Great.
I know, because of the fog. Everybody. A few of them would. The gal in our group, hers rangefinder worked the best, had a pretty inexpensive Bushnell rangefinder. She probably had the cheapest rangefinder out of the bunch.
And it worked the best.
And it worked. We were using her number. I mean, we didn't have any choice. Chris's wouldn't work on the first couple of targets. It was a Nikon. What was that? A Pro Jim?
Welcome.
Jim Frazier just joined the Divas.
Here.
He's.
No.
I can. Hear,
I'm on Thunders.
I can hear.
You may not be turned on over here.
I can hear him.
I can't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't.
You just gotta turn yourself.
Anyway.
Hey. No.
Did that work?
No. No.
I can't hear you either. So.
No.
I can hear him.
You can hear him in yours?
Yeah, I can
I
hear.
can hear it a little bit now.
Yeah, I don't.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh well. Technical difficulties.
Well, hang on here. Talk.
Hello. Am I pegging?
Now.
Yeah.
There you are.
Okay. He
cool.
just doesn't. I don't know.
Can you
You
hear
sound
yourself
funny.
real good?
Yeah. No, not really, but okay.
Are you
All
under?
right, just
I'm
keep talking.
I'm good. We're good.
When we get our new equipment.
Oh my God. You're killing me. You're killing me, Bertha.
Well, I was making sure you could hear yourself. Jeez.
She goes by Glamazon now.
Yeah.
I'm deef, but I ain't that deep.
Deef.
Hey.
What were you saying?
Huh?
She was talking about the rangefinder. She borrowed somebody's.
I borrowed Chris Berry's.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was flipping out. It read 4 yards. It read 4 yards. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Judge it.
So
I know.
I went and talked to Chris and got his rangefinder.
And it still didn't work.
No,
It didn't work at first. But it started working before mine would work.
your rangefinders really weren't working until I made it over there to the range. You know, the sun
Right,
had
we
burned
were-
off the fog.
Right.
How many targets you guys shoot for it?
Before the rangefinder started
Yeah.
working? Probably 7 or 8.
So was it because of
Wow.
the fog?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody on the range had the issue.
Okay.
Everybody on the range had the issue.
Well, that
So.
stinks.
So, well, you know, it is. It is what it is.
Well, if everybody had the same issue, then you're all on the same level playing field.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So
but it got, my shooting got better Sunday, and then I feel really silly. And part of my issue with Saturday too is I had to get there really early because he had to shoot at 7:30, and I probably shot 200 arrows at the bag before I went out for my. So I was kind of exhausted.
That's your OCD kicking in.
Yeah.
I gotta be warmed up. Gotta know.
You shot 200 arrows, literally.
Probably, yeah.
Whoa.
Over the course of I was there at
Well,
7:30. I didn't have to shoot till noon. On top of that, I couldn't. I was gonna sign up for a Sims Friday afternoon. I went over after I got done with the team shoot, and the team shoot was fine. We had a ball doing that. We didn't win anything, but I shot pretty good.
Mhm.
And we even had the 45-yard course there too. So, everything was long. And I went over, I wanted to get my LP light worked on. And I went over to the booth and I was asking him, I was mainly just asking him if he could work on it. And I handed him my scope and everything. And he said, "Oh, this is all messed up." And he snipped my wire. He's like, "When do you need this back?" And I'm like, I shoot it noon tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
So he goes, "Come back in a couple hours." And I'm like, "Well, I can't sign up for a Sims because I have no idea when I'm going to get my
Oh, man.
You
my
got it
scope."
back, right?
I did. I got it back that night. About 5:30, I think we went back over there. But he didn't like the way it was wired, and he just snipped it off with a pair of scissors. And I was like, I just kind of wanted to know if you could do it.
Yeah, he made sure
So,
you could do it.
No
But
kidding.
To be fair to him, I don't know what that guy's that it's LP. It's Larry something or other.
Larry Papa.
Yeah, he has a booth there all the time.
Mhm.
He
He's at all of 'em.
rewired my whole everything. He put all new wire on,
Upgraded the light.
upgraded the light, upgraded the whatever. I don't know. He did all this stuff. Then I bought a couple dozen batteries, and it was like $40. I
Yeah,
thought it was
that's
pretty
good.
reasonable
Yeah.
for, yeah. But my panic didn't get aided any by him like going into my wire.
Cutting the wire.
The best thing was the text message that I got
Yeah.
Which one?
Saturday afternoon.
Oh.
All it said was "help."
Oh, great.
No, that was after my shooting. Oh,
Yeah.
and then I wanted you to go over to the target butts with me, or
Yeah,
not the
but
target
you
butts.
didn't say that. All it said was "help."
Well, I'm trying to.
So I'm frantically dialing. What?
I wanted you to go
What a good
over-
husband you were. Keith would be like, she'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Vince would be like, "Oh wait, yeah, she did text me about 2 hours ago, didn't she?"
no, he kind of freaked out. So then, after we got done shooting Saturday, I'm walking down this really long gravel road with some of the girls in the group. We're all kind of, how you're exhausted and you're dragging your feet and whatever. And they have this tractor with a trailer on the back that's hauling all the archers back and forth too. So you can either wait for that or walk it or whatever. So we get almost to where kind of the road tees, and the tractor's behind us, and it's turning a big U-turn so it can go back. It's going to turn a U-turn and stop and drop everybody. And then apparently, anyway, I'm standing there and the tractor's behind me making the U-turn, and I hear thud, 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 and turn around, and there's a enormous man on his back. He's fallen out.
Oh no.
Bow chair everywhere. He's
Oh.
completely unconscious.
Knock the
Oh
He
my
is
gosh.
out cold. One of the girls that was in my group with me, she was right there with me, and she's a nurse. So we rolled, she rolls him over, and we're all standing there. His left eye is completely black and blue. I mean, purple on the top and the bottom.
It was that way before because I'd seen him the day before.
Well, we finally figured that out, but I hadn't seen him. I thought that had just happened. I thought he got hit by the trailer. I wasn't sure what happened because I heard it. He was out cold. We're all yelling at him, "Wake
Jeez.
up!"
Oh my gosh.
He starts,
We need to
slowly.
get him on the podcast.
Whew.
What
He
did he
started-
do the day before?
I know, right? He must have had a good time.
Yeah.
So anyway, they got him back conscious, and then his buddies finally saw that he'd fallen off, I guess, or
He fell off the wagon.
He
How
did.
old was he?
Literally.
He had to be mid 50s, 60.
Did he wind up being okay? Did you hear?
He had, I guess
He
so.
refused the ambulance.
He
ride.
refused the
Wow.
ambulance. The medics that were there on staff came over, and they took his blood pressure, and he had pretty high blood pressure too.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was a diabetic. He had a big knot on the back of his head. The guys
And
that
he
were
was a
friends,
doctor.
the guys that were friends with him, said that he'd fallen the day before, and that's how he got the black eye.
Really?
Yeah. So I
And
don't
he's
know,
a doctor.
but it was it.
I think they're the worst about.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
They
don't know.
like to
I've got you
self-diagnose.
cranked all the way up, and
I
all the
don't know.
knobs are the same. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what the deal is.
You'll sound
So-
fine.
My headphone's way better than Thunder's.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so like I'm already, frustrated and upset, and then that all happened. Then we go over and I don't know, we didn't really work on much, just for a few minutes.
We worked on just aiming at the target without shooting it
mm-hmm,
to get over some of that. It's got to go.
that anxiety thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to take some time with her to show her that yes, she can hold on in the 10 ring.
Mm-hmm.
That it doesn't have to go.
Right.
You can do this.
Right.
Well,
So then,
And if it doesn't go, it's okay. You can let down.
I'm,
many
I'm,
times.
I'm walking around.
I know.
Right, and I'm walking around her a lot on eggshells, not knowing how to handle it. And we get back to the hotel room, and I'm trying to be Mr. Nicey, nicey, nice. And she's like, I need you to kick my butt. So
Is that code for something?
maybe.
So then Sunday I go out there, and I'm real cautious when I walk up on her. I try to stay a couple of targets back once I look ahead as I'm trying to find her.
Trying to gauge, testing the waters a little
Well,
bit.
I stay
Approach
back
the
because
diva carefully.
I'm pretty sure Vince has looked at me through his binos before to read the body language to see if it's okay
Yes.
to approach or not.
yes, exactly. So then I ask her, well, how's it going? Any better? No. So I kicked your butt.
Yeah, and then it got significantly better. Not
Good.
significantly, but and then and you were kind of talking about the holding weight, and I kind of wonder if that was part of the reason I was seeing such a shaky sight picture, because you get nerved up in tournament
Mm-hmm.
and pull harder.
It's almost like your whole body structure changes at a tournament whenever you get just a little bit of
Right.
pressure.
Well, and you know what got the wheels turning for me on that was when we had talked to Brianna Theodore and how she tinkers with her bow
Yeah.
and tries to find a good sight picture under stress with
Under
nerves.
stress, yeah.
And that's what really got this whole thing started. And then through the course of my conversation with Kelsey and all of that, it was like, okay, let's do this and see.
She moved her. Well, you were
Yeah,
up
I
there.
heard
We're
that.
talking.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst is going to happen? You can put it all back the way
Right.
it was.
True.
So
True, and that would be a pretty easy change on those E35s. But anyway,
I was really proud of her.
yeah, I made it
That's
through it.
good.
I know
She
it'll
made
get
it
better.
through it. She
Sure
made
it
it
will.
through it, and I didn't get the. I hate archery. I'm quitting. I'm never shooting a bow again. This sucks. I
No,
didn't get any of that.
well, but
you know what I did get?
but we all go through that
You
at
know
one
what I
point
did
or
get?
another.
You know what I did get?
I'm going to
though?
come to more tournaments with you. That's what you got.
Yeah.
That's what she said. I mean,
Uh-huh.
basically,
Good.
after it was all said and done, we're on the way back
Yeah.
back Sunday, and she turns and looks at me. She goes, "I'm gonna win this thing."
Good.
Right on. Yes.
Well,
You did. Say
I wish
that.
you wouldn't say that. I wish you wouldn't tell my private conversation.
Aw.
But that was the attitude to have. That is
Yeah.
the.
Well,
That's
Go
the
in with
quit
confidence.
mindset.
and let
Yeah.
me tell you something though. That's not just me saying that. I mean, I've been shooting that bow pretty well here.
Yeah.
Like when I'm not stressed out and freaking out.
You're
like
dotting it. I'm fixing knocks daily.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a good
if I
problem
can
to have.
shoot,
Yeah.
if I finally found the setup that I can shoot well and I'm comfortable with, there isn't any reason theoretically why I can't go to a tournament and hit everything in a 10. There's no reason I shouldn't hit each 10 at least.
It's just the tournament body.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
you're
right.
right.
I'll tell
That's it
you. I'll tell
exactly.
you exactly what it is. She went to the bags, and when there's no
And she-
consequence or
Yeah.
I even had
to
sort
it,
of the same thing happen.
It's dot dot dot.
Right.
As soon as she steps out on that
And
range
you attach some
and
importance
it
to it.
counts,
Mhm.
Yep.
that's when she gets nerved
Yep.
up.
I do the same thing.
It's everybody.
it's,
Yeah.
it's no
It's
different
not
than
just you.
It's no different when they say this is your first scoring end.
Right. And you hear everybody's
Right.
butthole
no.
slam shut
And-
all
Yep.
down the line.
And that cattle prod.
In my brain, as soon as they start saying it, I'm like, first practice round. I talk over them in my brain.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
a
don't
good
even,
idea.
I tell myself third practice end,
Yeah.
fourth practice end, fifth
Yeah.
practice
I,
end.
I,
Yeah.
s- I speak over them in my brain. I go for our first practice round.
I remember I've not shot. I mean, I'll play around with indoor and shoot at this target here, but we shot many years ago. We did that team shoot, and that was just a team shoot.
Oh,
At
for
the
indoor,
state.
yeah, for indoor.
At the state.
Yeah, for Vicks.
And we did a couple practice ins, and then they said, "This is your first scoring
It was
in."
like-
And I have a blue pen, and I could see my heartbeat in my blue pen. I'm like, "What is that? Why is that there? Why does my blue pen have my heartbeat? That's messed up."
I got pretty razzed.
And that was a team shoot.
Yeah, I got pretty razzed at the clubs that I shoot at because of that fear. And the clock too, and they ran the clock, and they would on purpose say, "This is your first scoring round," over and over to me every time. It would be the first, scoring round, and to the point where it really did work after they, would always say that. And a lot of times when you're practicing at your local range or whatever, or league, they don't say that.
No.
Right.
So you
And
don't
it's
ever
too relaxed. And,
Yeah, so the only time you hear it is when you're in a tournament situation. So if
Yeah.
they start saying it to you in your league, it becomes just part of the comfort of being at home.
Yeah, you have to find ways to add a little extra pressure or stress. Like, I posted that picture on Facebook about Vince with the ice cream and everything. We had a bet. Closest to the X had to buy ice cream. And, even just that little bit, just for bragging rights or what, I could feel just key up just a tiny bit. And of course, I didn't bother to say that, he barely got me.
Yeah.
I mean, we were both really close to the X. And,
Yeah.
and that's like, I went to Tri-County over the weekend. I thought, okay, I want to try this bow under a little stress to see what's happening. But that didn't work because Aunt Alicia and I shot side by side, and it was way too much fun, and it was way laid back.
Yeah.
So that backfired.
Yeah, there was no pressure.
There wasn't any pressure. I mean, there is because she's a fabulous shooter,
no,
and
there
of
was no
course,
pressure.
but we were just
You were just comfortable.
we were very comfortable, yeah, and I was comfortable.
I know at one point I'm like, "Oh, I'm talking on the line. I'm sorry."
I know we kept talking back and forth, and we're like,
We talked about
stop.
not doing that.
Like somebody else.
Yes, I know. So we've talked about that in etiquette before, and we were doing. I'm like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't be talking. I'm sorry, Julie."
And then I would let down, and she's like at full draw, and I'm like, I'm sorry. She's
Yeah,
like,
no.
I know it's okay.
I don't even pay attention to that
Yeah.
stuff. I really don't.
Because I was still struggling with the bow, and then I would think it was getting away from me because I was so worried about it getting away that I would imagine it, and I'd like flinch,
Flinch.
and it wasn't doing anything. I was imagining that it was doing it.
Right.
Anyway, so back to Barb. Sorry.
No,
but,
that's okay.
you
No,
know, it's across the board.
Yes. It's not,
well, and
Squirrel.
and I mean, when you're there with the groups too, you start to learn really quickly. And I've forgotten because it's been so long since I've shot, but most of the people in your group are just as dang nervous as you are,
Mm-hmm.
So
Which is silly. Why do we do that to ourselves?
I don't know.
Because we pay money to travel.
Yeah,
And we get there. We want to do well. We want to put some.
but I had a
Right.
great
but
group
you
of
can't
ladies.
think of it that way.
No, you
but,
can't.
But we do.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We had a really good group.
Who'd you shoot
and,
with? Who were?
I don't know that it would be. It was a gal named Sandy and nobody that you would put it. Nobody that I've known from before.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I saw some of the names in the group in that class, and I thought, oh yeah, I've shot with some of those ladies in the
Mhm.
past.
yeah, I didn't get to shoot like with Marcia or I don't remember. I've seen.
Marsha's the only one I know in that class. Side you.
There's.
Mary Haig, I think she's
I've
one
heard
of
that
them.
name.
I've shot with her before.
She may have been in my
Oh,
group.
Dodie, I think, was in-
Dodie was in the group next to us.
Mhm.
I do recognize her.
Yeah, I know Dodie. I shot with her at some of the regions.
She's hilarious.
Oh yeah, she's a hoot.
She is hilarious.
She's a sweetheart too.
She is
Mhm.
hilarious. So, we're right there on the same range with the all the K40 girls. So I was running into Jess, periodically. So
I even walked down there and seen everybody. And
Yeah.
got some pictures.
and Jordan Dearman was there from
Yep.
our area.
Yep.
And there's so many there's so many gals there that I recognize just from
I
being
was
at all
really-
the shoots.
Mhm.
Really proud of the Missouri bunch this weekend.
Yeah,
Mhm.
They
And
really
the-
brought
Missouri
it.
had
I
a good
mean,
showing. I mean, really, you look at Vegas and then follow it
Yeah.
up with Foley.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
was good. Yeah.
That's true. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. What
You
else?
just never can count Missouri out. I
So
mean,
so let's talk a little bit about. Let's see. You started shooting Friday.
Yep.
And all the pros shot Friday afternoon. Was it noon or 1?
we shot at 1
1
on
o'clock?
Friday.
And gosh, you guys went a good almost 4 hours. You weren't done until 4:30.
One of the toughest ranges I've ever been on. Yeah, but there's like 80 some guys in my class too.
And they, and even for our class, they do a lot of tricky stuff. The trees they're really, really tall. They're kind of thin trees. You don't necessarily have broad, clear lanes to every target. They do a lot of placing partial of the target behind some trees, putting
and
some
around the bend where you got to shoot.
Putting
The
some
path will run and then make a jag, and then the target will be. And they zigzagged us again on day one. But not only did they zigzag us, they did us like they did in Texas, where you went.
Oh yeah, you might
all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know how
crazy.
you guys ever. That's what takes so long. I think
You just
on your
gotta
range.
find somebody in the group ahead of you. Look at the name on your shirt, their shirt, and keep
following them. Yeah, because they'll be on one side on target 9, and they go to target 10. And it's on the other side, but it's 4 down. That kind of thing. It's like,
Regions did that at the national championship in Branson. That was like crazy. We were like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? But it's not flat there. It was hilly.
Right.
And so you might have to walk down the hill and then walk back up the hill and then walk back down the hill. Yeah. I don't know how you keep your focus and do all of that.
It's really cool because it takes away that guy that walks down and looks over at the next target, or steps off the one he just shot and knows the other one's like 5 yards further, 5 yards closer.
On the known, on the known classes, we didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
So, but you shot Friday. Well, Friday ended up about 4:30. I guess all the pros did.
Yep.
And then shot early Saturday morning.
In the fog.
And it was like Archery Star Central, which kind of like was what Vegas was. Brady Ellison was there.
Got to shoot the Sims with him.
He got to. I was so jealous.
That was really cool. That was really cool. He's just a everyday dude.
And tell him what he said to you about the ASA tournament.
He said that, oh yeah, that's a cool picture of him. He said that, he goes, I have had more fun at this tournament this weekend than any of the World Archery events that I go to. He goes, this is such a blast.
Yep.
Probably because it's so different.
Well, it's different, and it's not.
Still doing what you love, but in a different format.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
He and his wife had matching buckskin Prevail FXs.
Huh.
I shot the Sims with her and him. And she shot women's pro class this weekend. And if that girl learned her yardage, oh my goodness. Because she was shooting X10s, Pro Tours. She wasn't just catching a 12. She was dotting them inside out with that little bitty arrow.
What kind of scope did she use?
I'm not sure. I didn't ask. But she's got really good form. I mean, if she knows how far it is, she's going to hit it.
That's good.
So, and
it's too bad that you didn't have those to get those autographed. That's what we were looking at.
I did get a picture of them.
We're gonna have to take.
Did you take a selfie?
No, I didn't. But
fangirl.
What was crazy about it is we got to talking about recurve, and I made the comment. I said, "Come whipping with a compound, and next time bring your recurve." And with me, he goes, "Oh no." He goes, "There's reality there," but we got to give him a hard time about shooting compound. And he's like, "Man, I'm having so much fun." He goes, and not only that, he goes, I stand a chance to make more money here shooting a compound than I do at any event other than the Olympics shooting a recurve. And I made the comment, I said, well, Mission Crossbows pays $2,500 contingency in that class. He goes, I'm going to have to get me a crossbow.
That's funny.
So, and his wife is a competitor like I've not seen. I know you all are competitive,
but she lives in a house with an Olympian.
Right.
I know.
Well, and
there is that.
It kind of ups the game, doesn't a little bit?
I don't live in a house with an Olympian.
What happened was,
and a multi-time Olympian, not just
on the
once.
Sims range, you shoot 10 targets, right? She hit 7 12s out of the 10.
And she was shooting the long range too.
Right on.
Yeah. And she missed a target.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And the reason she missed her target was because she misset her sight.
Mm.
So for like 3 more targets, she was mad. I mean, mad. And Brady kept telling her, "No, it's okay, it's okay. Yes, but I'm a professional. I should not make those mistakes." You know.
So she's hard on herself.
Real hard on herself. But she was really nice. We had a lot of fun.
She lives with an Olympian. There's that.
Right.
But, well, she's no slouch herself.
Yeah.
Right.
In the European side of it, so
Very cool.
Yeah.
that was cool. I was, like I said, I was really proud of the Missouri people. You know,
I feel like the
I wanted to
Missouri
shoot better than I
represented
did,
really
but I was overall happy with my weekend. So
That's good.
You had the
That's
highest
always
finish.
a good thing.
You've had the highest finish you've had yet in the senior pro class.
Yep.
So
well, I'm
It's a
satisfied.
process, and
It
you have
is.
to fall in love with the process.
So, I had good numbers all weekend except for really 2 targets that got me. So the work we put in is helping.
Good.
So,
Yeah. Let's see.
but I'm really proud of camp.
You had your best weekend yet in Camp 1 Open A.
Yeah, he is now. I called
Eric
him the other-
Camp, that
Camp the
is.
champ.
I called him the other day. I told him congratulations. I said, you are now the second Missouri shooter to win Open A. He goes, you are always the champ.
You had to point that
He's,
out, didn't ya?
Yeah, I'm super excited for him on that
I
because
am
he
too.
has shot that
been-
class for a while,
And he's been right there.
and he's been so many times on the edge of winning that thing.
Mhm.
And
That
so
just-
yeah, to see him finally, and I think he even was telling me on the second day
He ganked one.
he was starting to let down, and
Yeah,
his finger
And
caught it.
he was heavy into the trigger when he
Mhm.
started to let down and whacked one of them.
Hit a
right-
misfire
yeah,
basically.
shot it right in the back of the head for a 5. Could have
Yeah.
been a 0.
Right.
Yeah, he said, he goes, I got drawn and my pin wasn't settling right, and I thought, no, don't shoot this because I've got a good score going. I'm not going to screw it up, and went to let down, and it went off, and
Mhm.
But he kept his head in it. And
yeah,
That's good. So that's even
I think that was even on the
that's even better. You know,
Yes,
it makes
it
it
is.
all that more sweet for him to get that victory when he,
Yes.
messed
And
that
you
up.
know that's the high for a man for male side. That's the highest level amateur class there is.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy
it is, I guess, outside
is.
of semi-pro.
And he was $4 from winning out of Open A last year. $4. I said, man, I'd loaned you $4.
So you there's a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
Yeah,
there's a reason.
So I turned around. I told him that. I said, "You're out now, champ."
Yeah, he did well, and Jessica Schrader
did
won
really well.
140.
so
She did
She's
really
been
well.
real close several times,
Yep.
and she got
Right.
it done
She
this
has.
weekend.
Right.
Jason Dickey
Yeah,
finished
Jason
second.
got second semi-pro, and they shot semi-pro. Actually, shot the same range that we shot on day one.
day one, right?
So,
Mhm.
and he did really well. You know, second place in semi-pro is no easy feat.
Mhm.
No,
You know, it didn't. I guess it doesn't matter because any class that there is, there's going to be the cream of the crop in that class that is going to be competitive.
Right, you're going to
You're going to have to
yeah,
bring it.
you're going to face the highest level of competition in that class
Yeah. So
at that shoot. I mean, really, I feel like
Yeah, I'm not
That's-
trying to minimize any other
No,
class
oh, no,
by
no,
saying
no.
that. Because every class has, I guarantee you that when you walk out on the range, there's somebody that goes, "Oh, so and so's here today. You better bring your A game, no
Mhm.
matter what class it is." So,
Aren't those people sweet?
but we had several top tens. It was good to see Kevin McGrath there. I finally got to see Heather and meet his son.
mm-hmm.
Cute little guy.
Sweet family.
Yes, and Kevin shot
on-
really well.
he was on the team shoot.
With
was it
Connie.
Friday?
Mhm.
No, it was Thursday. They did the Thursday team
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
With Connie,
Mhm.
which was kind of cool because at one time Kevin said that he got Heather to listen to Connie's interview, and that got her wanting to get out and shoot again.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
used to shoot
so-
a lot.
And the little Shane Scott got second.
Oh yeah, Shane.
Yes.
Known 40.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Shot his little butt off and he went from he was shooting I think Bowtech. Now he's shooting on
Hoyt.
Oh,
Hoyt.
Hoyt. And he didn't have it for very long and went out
No.
there and
Yeah, he's only had it a month, maybe.
something like that.
So did well.
That's good.
So
Proud of everybody. I'm glad everybody had a good time.
well, we missed you guys.
Oh, thanks.
She was missing you guys.
Yeah, I was pouting. I was wishing we had gone. So.
She'll probably go next year and not
Next
come
year.
with me to Vegas.
It was
We're
a
talking about
lot
doing
of
that
fun.
instead of Vegas next year.
But you know, the one thing that's really messed up, and this has been both years that we're there. I mean, I guess we had a couple of nice days, but you guys had just as nice a weather here as we had
gorgeous.
there.
Yeah, it wasn't like going there was a bonus weather-wise.
No, I mean, it
Yeah, I
wasn't
saw everybody
bad.
with boots and jackets. And
It had rained
Look muddy.
Friday night. It
Friday
rained
night.
a lot in the middle of the night, and it was a muddy mess the next day. And I forgot how exhausting that makes you too. Tretching up and down in the boots and the mud. And
yeah, that takes a lot out of you.
there were times where you stand at the stake and you'd shoot your shot, and then you'd go to walk away and you're stuck.
like Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shot
It
some
made me think a little bit of
ASAs in
Texas. It made me think a little bit of
There
Texas.
was some of that.
But yeah, if you kind of stood in the, there was this cutest little girl on the range. She was a daughter of somebody. She's probably, I don't know, 2.5 years old. Had these little pink rubber boots on and black. She found a mud puddle and she was stomping through it one direction, stomping through it the other.
That's cute.
I love that.
She wasn't too clean by the end of it.
No, probably not.
What else happened?
Oh,
Exciting.
gosh.
Well, let's kind of talk about Connie.
Oh, yes. My fave pro.
Connie, did okay on Friday, I guess. Was about mid-pack, I think. I can't remember.
Something like that.
Something
I think
like
she was
that.
Like 18 down
She was
or
disappointed. She was kind of disappointed in herself, and
came back Sunday and lit it
came
up.
back
She got it
Sunday and
done.
shot. I
Yeah.
think she had one of the highest scores on Sunday,
Yeah.
I believe,
She did have the highest score
She had
on
something
Sunday.
to prove.
during the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which bumped her up. So as I was going
She
out to
came
my
into the-
range,
she came into the shoot-off in 5th
right.
and worked her way up
Up to third.
third,
Mhm.
which is really cool for her to podium. You know, I've seen her in the shoot-off several times, and it seems like missed it by that much. So we were really happy for her.
Yeah, it was exciting to see her.
I know. It's kind of cool. I don't go to the ASAs, but all these ladies that we've talked to, seeing their face and like feeling like that, I kind of know them now.
Well, they do have the shoot down video on Bow Junkie.
Mhm.
So you can pull that up and take a look at it. The other thing, like they did it different this year, the shoot off. So they did it Saturday afternoon,
Yeah.
and we went over to
A
soccer field that was maybe a 5-minute drive from the site, not very far, maybe 10 minutes with all the traffic.
Yeah.
And really nice, really well lit.
Lush green grass
Yeah,
on the soccer field.
Which I would think like the change from the terrain being in the woods
Mhm.
versus
To the
going
open like
yeah,
that.
going out in the open like
Yeah.
that be super tough to judge the
Well,
yardage.
if you noticed in the senior pro class, that long target they had there,
Mhm.
there was an 8 and a 5 shot out the top on it. So
So it was less than 50.
yeah,
When we were sitting from the side angle and you guys were all there like, that's this far and that's, I was like, I couldn't even tell you from the
you know-
side, from the side. But
I was looking at those targets and I was like trying to judge them from the side from where they were standing out to.
it looked way
It
longer.
looked way longer. I was like, ah.
Well,
La, 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 la.
the big mule deer, I was like, geez, that looks like it's 70 yards from the shooter.
Yeah.
But I know it's not, but it did. It looked from that different angle. It looked really, really far. So, but what was cool about the senior pro shoot off, and I'd heard about Bill McCall had fallen out of a tree. That was kind of some stuff on Facebook last year.
Yeah.
He has a show. I can't remember the name of the
Full
show.
Draw Adventures.
So, and that's on what, the Outdoor Channel.
Uh-huh.
I've
So he's-
heard of that show.
He's on a
Yeah.
hunting show in the fall, whatever hunting
Right.
season. But he had fallen out of a tree stand like 40 feet, and
No, it wasn't a tree stand. He was.
or was it hanging a tree stand?
No,
or-
he has a tree trimming service.
Oh,
and he was-
I thought he was hanging a stand
I
or
thought
something.
he said. I thought he said he fell out of a stand when he was
No.
talking to the crowd.
No, he's.
I heard him say
he-
fall out of a tree.
He-
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Just fell out of a tree.
He was trimming a tree, and went to rappel down, and one of his riggings broke in 40 feet. Said he missed a chain link fence by 1.5 feet.
Oh my gosh.
And he had his chainsaw hanging on the side of him when he went down, and he missed it too.
Wow.
Yeah, he's lucky.
So
he's
my
super
goodness.
lucky.
But
So
he was the first guy I ever shot a team shoot with as my pro. I think I was in open sea at the time. Great.
wow, that was a while
yeah,
back.
and he was a great guy then, and he's just always been super, super nice.
So he, it was kind of a battle between him and Braden.
Yep.
For a while.
Yep.
And I can't remember. I think Michael
got him by
Braden
1
hit.
point.
Yeah. Shot 8 or something, and Bill shot a 10 or a 12 or whatever and won it.
Like that.
And then he took the mic and started telling the speech because apparently a bunch of the shooters, Brandon Reyes from True Ball, started a GoFundMe page because he was out of work for about a month and a half,
45 days,
and all the medical bills and blah blah blah. And so he's like the rest of us. That can financially be devastating. And anyway, they helped him out. Paying his.
He was on Bow Junkie podcast today.
Was he?
Did an interview with Greg Poole that was really good.
Yeah, I haven't heard that, but he started talking about basically just thanking the archery community for the donations. And the whole place was just crying. I mean, when he started
talked about his faith and
the whole place was just, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I watched the video and I was like, nope, hold
it
together.
When he started doing the talk, I got my phone out really quick and I thought, I'm going to videotape this. I don't know how clear it's going to be. I wasn't even sure if it was going to pick up the audio on it very well.
Yeah, it did. I could hear it just fine.
Yeah, you kind of had to turn it way up to hear it, but
couldn't have happened to a more deserving guy.
But yeah, it was. I knew it was going to be a cool thing to see. So yeah, that was pretty neat. Neat. And then that Jacob Marlowe did he finally win it or did?
Dude is on fire. Yeah, he won it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch any of the Lancaster?
Bits and pieces when I could.
Man, he was dropping them like flies in the shoot off.
You should go back and watch him in the shoot off.
Yeah.
Because you have to shoot past people. Like if you're in 5th place, you got to shoot the 4th place person and beat them, and then
shoot the 3rd place, and
he was just hammering through people in that shoot.
He's something else. Both of those boys are great shots.
Yeah,
and their mom is too.
So it was very cool.
That's a nice family, all of them.
So I don't really know his mom.
They are crack up, man.
He is hilarious, but yeah, he's been on fire. So
that was cool to see, though.
Yeah,
get some new blood in there, and
yep.
Not not to have anything against all of the old guys that are frequent flyers of the shoot off, but to see some of the young guys.
You mean like the ones that you see over and over and over again?
Yeah, like him, and so, yeah.
So it was good to see Darren Christianberry.
In it.
Yeah,
in the shoot off, and to do as well as
and that was pretty humorous there.
It was.
What was it? 8 yards.
They did.
That was pretty funny. They had him.
Just shook his head.
Yeah. Because they usually stick it out there.
I know.
Farther than that, and 8 yards, and he's like, I didn't even know what to set my sight for. I thought surely it's gonna hit it at this distance or whatever. And he shot.
Come shoot some field archery with us, Darren.
Mm-hmm. He's a nut.
He is, but
he's a great guy.
He's one of the most approachable, nicest dudes out there.
Yep.
Well, hi there.
Oh, there's Otto again.
But it was 1,930 shooters, I think.
Yep.
Is what they said at the directors meeting.
Yep.
And was that a record?
They did.
Yes,
that shoot?
It was. It was more than the prior year.
Yes, it was.
I think it was just under 1,900 last year.
Yeah.
So they had.
And the new building there is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have. Like last year, they didn't have the building put up yet, so there was no. Let's see what else went on at the directors meeting. Any new information really come up?
No, not really.
Not really.
We talked about use of social media and
there wasn't anything. It was a pretty short meeting.
Yep.
No, there wasn't anything earth-shattering.
Not really.
I'll say this now, and this would apply for all the states, though.
Yeah.
Because, the ASA Federation, the state level shoots are actually a separate, what do you want to say, entity or event than ASA National. And it's really designed to help the clubs and to help people who don't maybe necessarily want to travel or who even just want to get more local practice. It helps the clubs because they have some low-cost insurance. They can have an ASA-style shoot to draw in additional shooters. They can hopefully bring people to their shoots to use it as practice. They have some access through ASA also to buying target ranges for cheaper. The whole thing is really set up to help clubs.
That's the focus, and
it is really it's to give the shooters in each of the states some place to shoot, but it's also designed to help clubs. With that being said, we get a lot of questions too about you should do this or you should do that or you should do this with this club, and I guess the reminder would be really that when the club hosts a shoot, it's their baby.
Yeah.
It's the club's shoot. It's not Jim's shoot. It's not my shoot. It's not, it is Carrollton's shoot or Marshall or, whatever your local club is. So that club has responsibility and decision making for dispute resolution or turning in cards or if they're going to do Saturday and Sunday or just Sunday or what have you. Now, you can always lobby the president and ask him hey, will you set up targets on Saturday or I don't know.
My role is basically is recruitment and to be the face, to answer questions. And, I'm not there to be a dictator unless there's something that needs decided within the rules.
I don't know. You probably would like the ASA dictator position, wouldn't you, Jim?
Probably. I could roll with that.
Who's your ASA dictator?
It's like when I got the job, you told me you can't punch anybody.
Yeah.
I did. So, we try to make sure that the clubs have the say so, because it is their, especially if you got any questions or concerns about did somebody turn in cards right at the right time or, was somebody shooting with the right groups? That's really the call of the club. And we had Carrollton had our first, I was going to tell that story.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So the week before Foley was the first, just
First
3D
qualifier.
I went to. What a bad one to go to practice to go to Foley in 30 mile an hour winds.
I think she drew on this target 5 times.
I did.
Finally, I just said, draw it. I'll put your arrow on the rest.
It was bad.
And she's not shooting a launcher. It's a drop away.
That's how the winds were in South Dakota when I went up there with Angie. Not kidding. It kept blowing my arrow out of the drop away, and thankfully they were picking it up and putting it back in there for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Oh
brutal.
yeah.
And we thought we shot really bad.
Yeah.
We did.
We were dejected when we left, and then I got pictures of the scores and thought, oh, well, we're just as good as anybody else.
I was like, we thought we were really bad. Well, we're rock stars, man. Look at this. No, everybody was having issues. And even if you got your pin to get there and you shot a good shot, your arrow might blow 10 inches to the right. It was
that
crazy.
First target behind the shed.
Yeah.
My arrow blew a foot to the right.
It was bad. It was really bad.
I understand.
So we're shooting along, and George and Rob, and there's a couple other people in a group ahead of us, and it was just Jim and I, and then Kevin and them were behind us, and I don't know how to explain this. We were in the woods, and we came out into the clearing opening
on B side. Do you know where
on the back?
Put the water cooler there right before you go out.
It's over there where that big brick building is and all that. Okay,
right.
So you come out over there,
You shoot by the satellite dishes and.
Right. So we come out over there, and George and them are finishing up, and I'm standing there talking to George. He's sitting in his chair, and they get done, and they move over to the next target, and I go stand at the stake, and I hear this rustling in the leaves, and I turn around. And I'm not going to be able to describe this for listeners. There is an elderly man and he's
He'd
trying.
been laying in a pile of leaves or something.
He's trying to pull himself up to a standing position from the ground
From a fence post.
with a fence post, and it's pretty clear by his stumbling that
He might be just a bit imbibed.
right. He's
inebriated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's I don't know. He's been hitting the silly sauce because he got stood up and then he swayed a little bit.
Just kind of stumbled
And
down
then
the
he
trail.
stumbled back into the woods to the trail, and then he found a tree and leaned up next to that. And then I kind of got concerned. I was like, well, what, this is a shoot. This may not be a safe
Right.
route for him to go.
Right.
And then I was like, where did he come from? Like, I was standing there talking to George. We're in the wide open.
Didn't even see him laying on the ground right there.
He was, and then I ran into George later. I was like, where did that guy come from? He goes, you didn't see him? And I said, no. He goes, he was laying right there in the ground next to me.
Gosh.
So weird.
In a pile of leaves.
gosh.
You could see it was like a deer
Anybody-
had bedded there. That's what
Yeah, it
looked
really
like.
was because the leaves were all spread out. It was like
It was-
down to
To the
to the
my
dirt.
goodness.
yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, that's so
Anybody
bizarre.
catch his name?
Later on, when we were in the clubhouse
He
turning
comes
in the
stumbling in the
cards, he came
clubhouse.
stumbling
Oh,
in there
my
and went into the
goodness.
bathroom.
And so he was inebriated. It's not like he was ill or,
Oh,
you
no.
know.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
No,
He just
Oh
wanted to come
my
hang out
gosh.
during the shoot.
That's
That is crazy.
and
I've never seen anything like. It was so bizarre because I thought I'd turn around and see a squirrel or something. and, oh, that's a man.
Was he at least dressed?
Yes, he
Oh,
was.
good.
he did
Yeah,
have
he had-
short. He did have shorts on though.
Oh my gosh.
How cold was it?
That's
It wasn't.
It
real-
was-
It was like
It was chilly.
40s,
Yeah, with
Oh,
the wind
wow.
blowing.
upper 40s with the wind
Sleeping
blowing.
in shorts in the leaves.
good.
He had a flannel
night.
jacket on though, so
Oh, that must have
it
kept
was
him warm.
so bizarre though.
Maybe
I
he
was
just
like,
had the leaves over his legs.
well, that's what I thought too. Maybe he
guys
was making a
totally-
little blanket out of
yeah.
the leaves.
Yeah, right.
You totally interrupted his nap.
We
His
did-
siesta.
Yeah.
Good night.
but I was like,
Like, what's all this thumping?
it was hilarious.
Oh man.
So
Yeah, it was pretty good though. We had like 37 ASA shooters. So.
yeah, and the club had 35, and they got that other set of targets there. So I love the targets at.
Yes, way better targets.
Yeah,
this
it
year.
took a while to get it all together, but
They-
hopefully
they-
that'll bring in more shooters.
They had some different looks at targets than normal.
They did a really nice job of setting that up out there. Yeah, I mean, they even did some things like you'd see at an ASA where you put a target partially behind or make it deceiving.
Yep.
You know,
Good.
he's changed things around where it's not quite so much uphill, downhill, a little bit still, but he's tried to find more flat spots.
Yeah, because that was a big concern for a lot of people. Was there's some steep climbs
Right.
back in there, and it's not a course that's friendly for everybody.
Right.
Right.
You know, if you have a hard time getting around, it's
I can tell you it's a lot tougher to navigate that course than it was 10 years ago
I wonder why.
because I'm 10 years older.
Yeah, Carrollton, of course, that's my home club. We're also getting a new wall of
I heard that.
indoor too.
Right.
that.
So hopefully things will be turning around for the club and
When you were talking about maybe getting the upstairs building?
well, the whole building, but
Yeah.
then moving everything into the upstairs. We're talking about it. I don't know if we're going to do it or not, but the building is for sale.
Ah,
That
So
would be nice.
That'll be a lot nicer.
Mhm.
I haven't seen the upstairs, but they say it's really nice up there.
Oh, okay.
So that would be a much better environment to
Yeah, she
shoot
gone.
in. Yeah, she's gone.
I've had
She
to take
thumps
two
her
potty.
headset down.
I had to take 2 potty breaks because you've got me at Route 44 and I'm loving it.
Well, you asked for
I
it.
did.
You
I was afraid
requested
I
the
would be
Route
coughing
44.
the whole time. So, how are we doing on time?
We probably ought to be wrapping it
Trying
up.
to
but
figure
we've been
that
going
out.
About 53
So
minutes.
the next, let's see, we got some goodies to give away, so I'll be having one of those come up soon.
Mhm.
If we could do
You've-
2 in one night, we could do it the next go around, maybe.
What, the goodie giveaway?
Mhm.
Yeah, we could do a Facebook Live because
We
got
need to.
we
We've
need
got-
to. We
We've
gotta
got
get
a ton of stuff.
we gotta get rid of some stuff.
I know we need
Yeah.
a clean house.
What else was I gonna say?
I don't know, but I'm I'm going upstairs.
Checking out.
Thank you, ladies, for
checking
You're
out.
welcome.
for having me.
Bye, Pib.
Thanks for stopping
Don't go
in.
with the
Take the
headset. You
headset
gotta-
off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Hey, shut up and shoot.
It doesn't have like the detach like the gas station
Yeah.
pumps do, you know,
The
when you
quick-
drive.
The quick.
My boss
release.
did that one time.
Oh
Drove
my
off and the
God.
thing detached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting cold. I'm getting chilly.
All
Same
right.
too. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
well, we've got couple shoots coming up. You got indoor nationals.
Well, sectionals will be
Section-
first.
oh,
Sectionals is this
sectionals.
weekend.
Sectionals
Well,
is this.
which will actually be like last weekend by the time this comes out.
Like 2 weekends.
Oh yeah, we're time
yeah,
traveling
it'll be
now.
2 weekends ago.
And
Right, we're
then
time
and
traveling
a
again.
couple more weeks is.
And then the next
uh,
week is state. The week after sectionals is state, Missouri State.
oh wow.
When's Kansas?
Ours isn't until March 11th,
yeah.
something like that.
Ours is the first weekend in March, and then the week after Kansas is nationals.
And then then there's another ASA tournament.
Yeah,
In-
in Augusta,
Mm-hmm.
which is I think the 10th, 11th. It's that weekend in
Mhm.
March, and then Texas will be in April,
April.
which we're planning to go to that. That'll
Yeah,
probably be
we'll-
the first
we'll
ASA
definitely
we get
go
to.
to. I'm not sure if we're making it to the March to Georgia or not.
I don't think I want to,
Um,
but that's all, every weekend in March. I think almost. That's,
Yeah,
and that's
it's like
expensive, and we can't afford all of
It's
that.
just started and
When's
it's
your
like
last day of school?
May 25th or
23rd
something
is
like that.
ours here.
I think ours is the 19th. We got an extra day because of the
I
fake.
need to get a teaching
Yeah.
job.
25th or 26th is
I'm
ours.
telling you.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is the deal.
Mhm.
Start off with 10 days off and of my own
Mhm.
days off and
Yeah.
use them however I want.
And then you're
plus
off in the summer.
you're off for President's Day and all those goodies
Yep.
and
2 weeks at Christmas and
parent teacher conferences and
Yeah.
all the summer.
I'll be just sitting here recruiting all summer long.
sorry.
But you're so
Me
good
and my
at it.
Me and my cats. And my
And the
dogs.
dogs.
yeah.
All of them together.
Piled
Huddled
on your
around-
lap.
Huddled
So-
around
on the
Barb.
floor.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks again for all the donations.
Yeah.
We'll be getting some new equipment coming up soon, and
Hopefully by the time this comes out, we'll have it. Huh?
right,
That would be
exactly.
good. Mhm.
That'd be cool.
And then what else was I gonna say? I think that's it.
You can find us on
Yes.
Facebook, the Bo Divas podcast. If you want to ask us any questions or want a topic talked about, or if you just want to
Yeah,
say hi and
send
tell us-
suggestions in. We
Mhm.
like to see those. We do have a couple of ideas for some things coming up. Some people we're going to talk to, and
Mhm.
kind of cover technical things and talk
Mm-hmm.
to some other really well accomplished shooters and
Mhm.
more good stuff coming.
Yeah. Thanks for all the donations. We said it last podcast, but we want to say it again. Thanks for all the donations that were sent in for the new equipment. And for those of you that didn't get to donate and really wanted to, just remember us on your Facebook page. Go ahead and share our podcast. That'll help more than you know. So, all right. Well, I guess
we
we'll
appreciate you.
be acting like babies and heading out.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Oh, wait.
Wait.
You
What?
didn't tell your hotel bathroom story.
Oh.
The bathroom.
Oh, I forgot
Bathrooms.
about
we
that.
We have to have
we
a
started
bathroom
to say
reference every episode.
we did. Did we? Well, we had one last one. So yeah,
Tell it real quick.
our toilet just didn't ever flush ever.
Did
It
ever go
just went
down.
around and around and around. I don't know if I need to add any more explanation
Yeah,
to
no,
that.
probably not.
I'd call him and I'm like, it's just going around and around, and she'd like, we're sending maintenance down, and
So it wasn't yellow, let it mellow?
no,
it was-
no, it was.
It was brown going around and
and it was going
around.
around and around, brown and around. And then the next day, it still did the same thing. And so I call her. She goes, "Oh, he fixed it." And I'm like, "No, it's just still going around." So
Oh my gosh.
fortunately, when you're at a thing like that, you don't spend a ton of time in your room.
That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
So you leave in the morning. You call the lady at the, "Hey, you need to send maintenance
Did
down."
it smell like sauerkraut?
No. No. Fortunately, we didn't have that. There was no odor issue.
Yeah.
I should have gotten some of that poopery though. But yeah, it's why as it was occurring, I thought, oh, this sounds like par for the course for the Divas, right? Something going on with the bathrooms.
Yeah.
On the other note, the porta potties at the shoot site were just fine.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
good.
they weren't. It was, I think, cooler weather at night, so that
Kept them
yeah.
fresh.
They're not in there
Yeah.
They weren't
baking
riping.
and roasting or
yes. So
over an open fire.
something.
yeah,
like
we
that.
didn't need that. So
Chestnuts roasting.
so I don't. We might get message saying, please don't talk about the bathroom anymore.
Maybe so.
Well, hey, we may be doing a service because with our podcast, they may be thinking, "Oh, we better keep the bathrooms clean." Here
Well,
they
this was
come, they're gonna
this
announce
was
it.
America's Best Value Inn, so it was an inexpensive hotel. And they were nice about it. I mean, they kept coming down and fixing it just every single day. She kept saying he was fixing it. I said, I don't think he's fixing it. I think he's just like using the plunger, and that's about it. Getting it gone, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Then he's back the next day.
Oh my goodness, bless his heart though to have to do that.
Gosh, I know.
I wouldn't want to have to do that.
I've been at a hotel before where the maintenance man had to come, and I just felt so sorry for him. I was like, "You have to do that too, don't you?"
Okay, well, let's get out of here.
All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Catch us on the Facebook page. Send us messages, and we will talk to you again soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.